This was just a really special month for Moon Yarn because when I saw it on their site, I knew exactly what I wanted to make. I knew the color that I was going for, which is kind of crazy. Normally, I go for the entire line and I'll just get one of each color and then play around with it as a collection. And this month's collection was called Winter Waves, but there was one color that stood out to me called Tide Watch. I am going to be making a pullover sweater from this, and this is the only color that I have to show, but I just felt like this was the right direction for me this month. They have their cute little stickers on the outside. Did that even show it? Probably not. There we go. Okay, so 2 hanks in each one of it. The Crow and Crescent sticker right there. I ended up getting DK weight yarn in this because I knew that I wanted to make a pullover sweater. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Look at these adorable little babies. Oh my gosh. DK weight, Tide Watch, 100 grams, 231 yards. It is so freaking stunning. Another layer of special is that I am making this pullover sweater specifically for going to the Fiber Witch Festival, which is coming up in April. So like I need to get going on this sweater. I have a very long list of things that I want to make for the Fiber Witch Festival this year, and this was kind of a last minute. I added it on, but it absolutely has to get done. I need to cake these up tonight. I know that I talk about Moon Yarn a lot and how I spend a lot of time really thinking about the project that I want to make. It is just, I mean, it's Moon Yarn. So there was a lot of intention, love, and care put into it before it even came to me. And I want to make sure that I continue that with whatever I create from it. So I'll often just leave it in the yarn dungeon for a little bit, think about it as I'm having my coffee in the morning, kind of pull it out. Maybe I'll cake one of them, see if inspiration hits. But this one, I know exactly what I want to do. Like I can just get going on it, and I'm still feeling very strongly with it as well. I was worried about that because I was like, okay, because this is a pre-order, as it is always with the Moon Yarn, January 22nd. So that really isn't that long of a time to wait in between, but I am very much a mood crocheter. So if it's not hitting the same way as what I thought it was going to, I ran the risk of, okay, I might need to change it into something else. So I did get the exact amount of yarn that I know I need for my pullover sweater. This is going to be a double crochet. Even though the stitch is going to be very repetitive, that was super intentional because like I said, this is an add-on project to the other. Okay, at this moment, let me just think about it. I think there are 3 different sweaters that I have going. One is a DK weight yarn, one is a fingering weight yarn, I have a bulky weight yarn. So I was all over the place with sweaters, but last year was the very first time that I went to the Fiber Witch Festival, and sweaters, that was just kind of my go-to over whatever I was wearing. A skirt, a dress, pants, whatever I had on, I always had a sweater. So I wanted to make sure this year that once I got there, I would have a cozy piece of fiber every single day. I'm not sure when I'm going to be wearing this one, but like in my head, it's already done. We're moving full steam ahead. This is coming with me, not in hank form, but as a crochet sweater. Tonight is the night I am going to cake all of this up. Normally when I make sweaters and I have just one color like this, I will alternate the rows. This doesn't look like there's too much variation in the colors. I'm going to cake all of them up and kind of work between all 4 of them so the color is all over the place. That way, if there's a spot it's intense in one particular section, which I will be able to tell a little bit better once I cake it all up, I can flow between 4 of them instead of just doing one and having that solid line. Typically, it doesn't bother me if it's a variegated color. It just kind of adds to the eclecticness of it. But this one, it's going to be very, very obvious. Either a 4.5 or a 5mm. 5 is going to be a little bit big, but I think I'm okay with that because I want there to be a little bit of air in between each space. Like I want there to be movement in this, but still keep me warm and cozy. I wanted it to be a buildable piece. I can add jewelry on top of it, or if I have like a mesh bag, I can do that over top, and then the pieces, they don't clash, even though I'm not opposed to that. I love mesh on top of mesh. Absolutely love. But again, this one, I just felt so strongly of the pattern that I wanted to make with it. It's just so pretty. I can just stare at this all day. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. They never fail, you know? Every single one is so much fun to me because of the fact that it changes every single month. There's new colors, an entirely new collection for every single month. It means not only do we get new colors, but we get a new backstory of the collection and how this came to be and the inspiration that they drew from it. So I don't know, I love it so much. This happens to me too every once in a while where it just hits me and I'm like, this is the pattern, this is the stitch, this is the direction, just go, 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 go. And it's not saying that I did not love the entire collection, because I did. There was just only so much time that I had to move forward. And I felt very strongly that this collection, I needed to kind of focus my energy on just this certain colorway. There was a super intense kind of emerald green in here that I was leaning towards, but this one kept drawing me back. And I love that it's not going to clash with my hair because I love red, like red and black. That is my go-to color. So I do have a lot of red in this particular color, which I am not against. Matchy matchy red, I'm totally here for that. However, I can use a little variation of red in my collection. I mean, obviously we have like these ones right here. I'm gonna go for that every single time. We have a Crow and Crescent Yarn Co. little card that it came with. Let's Be Social. If you are not following them on Instagram and their newsletter, highly suggest getting into their newsletter. This one is a custom made for that month. The collection comes around once it's pre-order, and then once the order is closed, it's closed, and they don't often recreate these colors. However, they do have colors that are staples on their sites, and they have it organized really well. They have all products, all yarn, variegated yarn, semi-solid yarn. They also have custom orders, so if you really love a certain color of yarn, you can get like a sweater's worth of it if you don't see it on there. And then they do have accessories. So that is what I'm doing with my Winter Waves Moon Yarn collection this month. I have some more yarn chat with another yarn subscription, and this one I have been highly anticipating from Muse2320. This is a yarn subscription that you could get into for the entire year. You could get into just month by month. Sometimes she will do previews of what the yarn colorway is going to look like. I just knew I wanted to get into this. Whatever she does with it, I know it's going to be fantastic and I don't want to miss out. So I am doing the entire year, which means that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Join Muse for a year of colorways haunted by the spirits of folklore, myth, and timeless tales. It is just so open-ended. There are so many different directions that she can go with it, and I want to be here for the entire story, because that's the thing with Muse2320. It's a story. That's how her colorway works, especially subscriptions. Yes, you can pick and choose. Absolutely. If there's a month that's really resonating with you and another month that you're like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling a certain pull towards this one. I think right now that's the only way you can get into it is the monthly subscription. So all the way back in December, you could do an entire year and you could order it, and then every single month it comes to you. Now you can get monthly. So January and February's has already closed. It's the beginning of the month that it'll open, and there's a couple of different options. You could get just normal sock weight yarn, you could get sparkly sock weight yarn, and you could also get Pipit DK weight. I went with the DK weight. Oh, what the heck? Okay. Annabelle. Immediately lost my train of thought. This is Annabelle. Okay. The subscriptions come with this little pamphlet, and it's going to tell us the backstory about Annabelle or whatever it is for that month. And I have a bulletin board that I completely cleared off just for Muse2320's Haunting yarn because I want to save these. 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. I didn't even say what that was for this, did I? No. Oh, maybe I did. It's 100% superwash merino wool. Okay, that's what this one is. So we get a full hank of yarn, and then we get a baby hank of yarn. So if you end up doing the sock subscription, it's perfect because you can use this one to build the sock, and this can be like the toe and the heel part. Oh, I love that right there. Oh, here we go. The listing will be open February 1st through the 11th. So that one has already come and gone. So it'll be the same for March. Let's get into this one. Annabelle. This is so freaking pretty. Is it the right way? No, it's not. There we go. My bulletin board is just going to be covered in this, and I can have one in the middle like this, and then we'll have the story on the other side. Love it. Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll that began her haunt in 1970 with a young nursing student named Donna. Donna and her roommate had several disturbing incidents that led them to reach out for supernatural support, leading them to Ed and Lorraine, which that is the Conjuring, that entire universe. If you are into that, and you've never watched that, you have an entire world that you can get into, because that series, or like that universe, I think came to an end. Ed and Lorraine's story has come to an end, but there's other things in that, like the nun is also a part of that universe. So you have a lot of options. If you want to work this up to, oh, actually, yes, I do. That makes sense. There's no other option, right? I need to work this up as I'm watching Annabelle. I think there's a couple of them too. The doll is haunted by a young girl named Annabelle that died on the property where Donna and her roommate lived. Annabelle's list of grievances include demonic possession, 2 near-death experiences, and a fatal accident. The doll currently resides in a wooden case with a signage that reads, "Warning, positively do not open," which leads to the perfect beginning to a horror movie. And that is why there are so many Conjuring movies. I will say, for me, The Conjuring, it's a spooky ambiance. It's not a, oh my gosh, I jumped out of my seat type of spooky, but if you want to crochet to something in the background with dark, ominous music, The Conjuring universe, it has its place there. Should we take this off? I was gonna wait, but I don't feel like I can wait. Okay. Ooh, Muse2320. The labels used to be like shiny and thinner. Okay, I like this. It's gonna go in my scrapbook. I like the matte finish. It's the small details for me, I guess. So here it is, the Naked Hank, all on its own. This is going to be so freaking beautiful, all caked up, because look how much red we have. That's going to dominate the majority of this. And the fact that there's some cream in here, but the cream looks dirty. It's not a cream, it's cream with brown speckles all over it, yellow speckles. We have some crimson speckles on it. So what I was thinking with this one, since I listen to a lot of audiobooks, my goal this month was 4 spooky books to read. I'm doing really well. I have 2 out of the 4 completely done. I set up my TBR jar, highly curated this month. So every single book I was very interested in. It didn't really matter which one I pulled. What I was thinking is using this yarn to decorate my book tablet here and make a little cover for it, and kind of like have a part that goes over, do a little chain so it kind of slips over, and then this part I could use to make on the front so it feels like a book. So like this part opens, you know, I have to like open it like this, but the back will stay connected to it. I don't want it to be a slip because I already have one of those. This is like my go-to one. So I put my audiobook tablet in here, and then whatever tangible book I'm reading is in the front. So it's always with me. Since I only have one hank every single month, I want to use as much as possible, but it still needs to be a one hank project. Moss stitch, highly leaning towards that. It would just showcase every single bit of this hank of yarn so well. It would have structure to it. This one, I think I will use a 4mm because I want the stitches to be super close. So polar opposite for my moon yarn, where I wanted it to have movement. This, I want it to have structure. So we're going to go down a size to 4, or maybe even a 3.5. The last thing that I have to chat about is not necessarily new, but it is new to me, and it was just all over my socials. I don't know what was happening, but they got me. So I ordered this, the automatic I-cord machine. I make a lot of I-cord. I do a lot of garland for every single holiday. Basically every single month, my barista area will change and I do some sort of garland for it. Garland is just one of those things where it's very easy to make any area pop with whatever that theme is. I do have my Addie machine, which is like a tiny little Addie egg. Yeah, right back here. This thing. You just put the yarn in here and crank, crank, crank. There's a weight on the bottom. It pulls it out. But this one is really good for worsted weight yarn. So anything from DK weight to bulky is kind of the area that this one loves a lot. And also the fact that it's called an egg. It is super adorable. I use this one when it's like last minute for me. If I'm setting something up and I want it to be up literally today in the next 5 minutes, I'll use this one. Otherwise, I typically use my Lisette fork. That one is just very meditative and I like the process of it. So it's not I need to get this done quick type of thing. It's very enjoyable to me. I just sit down often when I'm listening to my audiobooks or watching a movie or something like that. It's something to do with my hands. It's like if I have some hand-dyed yarn, like if I have any of this left over and I want to make garland from it, absolutely, I'm going to use my Lisette fork. This might be kind of nice to have and to use for scrap yarn. And also, I think you can use fingering weight yarn with this. That in and of itself could be really handy for using up some of my stash yarn. Not easily tangled. Okay, that is good and not something I was even thinking about. Like not a fear that crossed my mind, but good to know. Pretty sure that it comes in like a purple too. This one just happened to be on sale, so I picked this one up. Craft anything you dream of. Wow. Okay, we're really claiming a lot here because I'm a pretty creative person, as you are as well. We can think of a lot of things. So, bar is high right out of the gate there. Again, craft anything you can dream of. It's kind of aggressive now. Jeez. We have the instructions. Whoa, that is a thick instruction book. I was hoping it was going to be out of the box friendly, but oh man. Here we go. So this is exactly what I was hoping for. Yarn weight chart. Okay, number 2 fine, number 3 light, and number 4 medium. I really don't need this one to go any bigger than a medium because I have those other options. So this is exactly what I wanted it. And then they tell you, or they show you the picture of what it's going to look like with those type of weights of yarn. Pictures are very vivid. Do need to sit down with this manual for a little bit. Okay, let's just see the other parts. So it comes with this thing. Oh wow, there is a lot of needles. There's a crochet hook. There are the needles that we need to put in there. Screws for what? I don't know. The actual hooks that pull the yarn. It comes with a little screwdriver. This particular size of screwdriver is perfect for my Addy machines, like all of my knitting machines, really. So I always have these laying around, which means that I lose them sometimes. So I will take another one of these, no problem. Whoa, okay. I just thought this was a giant yarn needle. No, it's a double-ended. So we have a yarn needle on this side and then the crochet hook on this side. So I'm assuming to pull the yarn there. And then we have this little beauty, which is super valuable. It's a curved yarn needle and not the plastic ones, the metal ones. Because I have a lot of the plastic ones. They obviously come with the knitting machines. They don't bend, they don't break as easily, and they pick up, they like scoop the yarn. That's what I need. When I need it to come off of the needle, I need scooping action from it. This is how it's packaged, but it's gonna make the most terrible noise as I pull this out. So hold on a second. Styrofoam and that plasticky stuff, it is a sensory absolute no for me. So we have purl action, knit action, 3 different options for speed. I like that there's weight to it. I was a little nervous that this was going to be something, because there isn't, like, there's this padding under here or like little silicone base to not stick, but like make sure it doesn't move around too much on the table. But with my knitting machines, I don't like the ones that are not connected to the table because they move too much, which then encourages stitches to either drop or get tangled. And with this, we really don't want it getting tangled. So I don't know. We'll see how it works. But the fact that there's weight to it, I'm feeling pretty confident that it's gonna do what it needs to do. And also, I maybe don't need to have it on 3 every single time I'm using it, but the fact that it's an option, then it should be able to sit steady on the table. Like if it's there, the yarn comes out in a consistent manner and not tangled and everything. I'm gonna play around with it for the entire week. We'll see how it works out, if I like it. That is everything that I have for you this week in our crochet news update. Thanks for hanging out with me in the yarn dungeon. I hope you have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you in my next video.